So I've observed Arena to offer a very capable collaboration environment, which exceeds the collaboration capabilities in collaborative software that is unrelated to bill of material management. How did this come about, and what technologies, development concepts, or business knowledge was used to make this happen?
The thing I'd say there is that a lot of it was informed by my experience before founding Arena with manufacturing, and particularly observing that having tight control of product information within your four walls was a significant benefit to the company, but really you end up with a supply chain of manufacturing partners who contribute to the quality of your product as much as you do. And keeping those vendors, those partners, on the same page about what they're supposed to be building, what the specifications are for that product, what changes have been rolled in, is just as important as keeping your own staff in. And so when we actually sat down to develop Arena, the idea that this was not simply a tool for use within a company's four walls, but was actually a tool that facilitated the exchange of information around a very complex set of information across an entire community of companies, was core to the product vision. And it led to a whole bunch of decisions about the product, from the user interface and trying to make sure that the application is actually very approachable and easy to get started with and easy to understand, to the fact that it is a software as a service application. We chose that architecture specifically to facilitate the publication of data, not just within your company, but to selectively share portions of that product record with other companies. And then obviously providing strong access control and the ability to filter the data presented so that when you're sharing with your injection molder, right, you're sharing the designs of the plastic parts and not the circuit boards, and vice versa. When you're sharing with a contract manufacturer who's fabricating that PCB, they don't necessarily need to see your firmware or the rest of your product assembly. They need to see the parts that they're producing. And so it's a lot of it just comes from the feeling and insight from my own experience that making this information accessible in a controlled yet open way has a huge impact on the speed and quality of the products you ultimately produce.
In this video, Eric described the fact that the realization that the bill of material was so extensively collaborative is what helped to determine the eventual design of Arena. This influenced everything from its interactive design to the fact that it was originally conceived of as a SaaS-based solution. Moving towards an editorial mode, I think there's an important distinction here because I've noticed differences between vendors that started off as SaaS versus those that adopted SaaS after their application was already developed. Arena can be said to be SaaS from the ground up. On a related issue, I've noticed that so many vendors still don't offer SaaS solutions at all. Arena is interesting because 100% of its sales are SaaS-based. Those vendors that have experience in this model have a significant advantage once SaaS reaches the tipping point.